Hi everyone, my name is Trevor Gordon. How are you today? I'm a community engagement and media relations specialist, very passionate about fostering connections and amplifying voices. For the past week or so, I've had the pleasure and opportunity of interviewing all of the quarterfinalists that are involved with Verse to Voice. Verse to Voice is Canada's premier singer-songwriter competition, the goal being to find amateur, talented singer-songwriters, showcase them, and allow them to network, perform, and compete for great prizes. So for the past month, this competition has been going on. Last week was when all the quarterfinalists were announced, and I've had the opportunity to interview all of those quarterfinalists. So I want to, first of all, before I get to our guest, who is one of the quarterfinalists, I want to shout out Karen Cece, who's the executive producer, and Sarah Morrison, who's the event producer of Burst of Voice. I thank you both for allowing me this opportunity of meeting and interacting with all of the quarterfinalists. So today we're having a conversation with Natalie Ney, who is, again, one of the quarterfinalists involved with Burst of Voice. I just want to share a little bit about her as we have her join us. Natalie Ney. Natalie brings her unique style and passion for music to Burst of Voice, captivating audiences with her powerful performances. So I want Natalie to join us.
Hello.
How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Nice to have this come together. Are we good with the volume?
Yeah, looks great. Sounds great. Looks great. I like the color in the outfit. The backdrop is such a vibe over there.
Thank you.
So I appreciate you doing this. I know you're a busy person, but I won't hesitate any further. What was your first reaction when you first heard the news that you made the quarterfinals for Burst of Voice?
I was very excited and looking instantly. I was just thinking about less of the competitive aspect because in previous history, I have never entered any contest before due to the fact that I didn't like the idea of art put in competition, but now I have had the opportunity to change my outlook on it, and actually this specific competition contest, however we want to put it, has been the most fitting for me to be the first competition, just simply because of the fact that the has been so collaborative.
You raised up a really good point, and I appreciate you sharing that. It started with Sarah Morrison, the event producer, saying even though she's called this a competition, she doesn't fully feel like it's a competition. And then all of the quarterfinalists that I've had the opportunity chatting with, they've all echoed those sentiments. I watch it. I'm joking when I say this, but I call myself the Ryan Seacrest on the stage, on the side, just having the opportunity of chatting with each of you. And each one of you, I've seen writing comments to each other, putting hearts underneath each other's posts. Essentially, you guys are competing against each other, but I've literally watched all of you say, "Oh, I hope you win. I love your song more." Like, it's so interesting. This doesn't feel like a competition at all.
Yeah, there's a great flow of energy between, instead of, the hard resistance, there's the fun. So what ends up happening is we all end up rising no matter what, and that's why everybody's happy and genuinely rooting for other people because you know I believe there's no real losing when you're enjoying yourself and getting all the other winnings that are not necessarily tangible.
As you're chatting, you're getting a lot of love in the chat room. I'll try my best to read all the comments as they come in. Someone named Myth wants to say Natalie is a superstar. So you're getting love in the chat room. For those that are joining us, be sure to follow Verse to Voice on Instagram. That's where you're going to see Natalie's profile page as well as all of the other quarterfinalists, and that's how you can learn about what's happening. And if you have a question, put it in the chat. I'll try my best to read it. We only have Natalie for limited time, so I don't want to keep her. What motivated you, Natalie, to be a part of Verse to Voice?
I was doing this other performance, and I actually had the opportunity to have an interview with you, and you, knowing the fact that I am a songwriter at heart, you had suggested, hey, there's this music competition, and I thought to myself, again, I was a little aware it wasn't really my thing before. Now it is a new story, and it's definitely my thing. I'm loving great that you suggested it, and
So you kind of touched on it, but if you could expand a little bit, like, did you have any fears? Like, explain those hesitations or fears, because you do bring up a good point. So explain what is your hesitation about these type of competitions and what made you gotta get over that hump, so to speak.
right. So, okay, so I felt in the past that the nature of putting something so sacred as my whole creation into something that could potentially diminish its perceived value based judged, right? What I really did was get over my fear of being perceived the wrong way. And I had to really step in to just knowing who I am and being okay with thinking whatever. Yeah.
So I've been saying it like a broken record, pun intended, broken record, but I want to say it as much as possible. You can learn all about the quarterfinalists by following Verse to Voice on Instagram, and you're going to see each of those songs that each of the quarterfinalists have submitted on the Verse to Voice Instagram, which segues into my next question, Natalie. Talk to me about that song that you submitted. Any insight, any open the curtain a little bit, share why you decided of all songs to submit that one.
This is a great question because little insight, I do have lots of songs that are done and that are just I haven't released or put out there yet. And the reason why is because I really want to reach people that feel back by their past, or that they feel like there's some form of chain of resistance of moving forward and becoming who they are fully meant to be in this life, and to not be held down by past. And my song is called Rebirth, so it's rebirth into your fullest, highest version of yourself.
So nice. What inspired you to become a singer-songwriter initially? Was there one moment, defining moment? Was there multiple defining moments? I keep describing it as a goosebump moment where you're like, you know what? I want to be a singer. I want to be a songwriter.
This is a beautiful question because when I was a little kid, I was always a writer. And when I was in school, learning how to write poems, I actually had this that was more of a diary that I would write in, and I would write these poems I would keep to myself. So whatever emotional distress or happiness or whatever it was I was dealing with, I would take it and put it into the form of poetry. I'm not gonna lie, there's some of it where you look back and I read it, dang, I was going through something, but how powerful is it that I was able to utilize the tool of writing to transmute. When I was younger, I would write this poetry and I would do it for years, and I would keep it a secret so I wouldn't tell anybody about it. It wasn't until I was older that I actually realized that what I was doing the entire time songwriting, because when I was doing my writing of the poetry, I would have a melody in my head. I could literally hear, this is how I write. I can hear it. Take what I hear and put it, and I let it flow through the pen. I don't necessarily sit down and predetermine what I'm going to write. I might have an idea, but I just let it flow. So I've been doing it. Not necessarily at any one point. I would almost just feel like it's been in me my whole life.
This is one of my favorite questions of the interview. I'm not sure if you've seen any of the other interviews. I think you have a couple at least. What is a song you like that might surprise others, whether it be your closest of friends, whether it be your fans, whether it be a potential new friend or a new fan? What is a song that might surprise others that you like?
I should have come a little more prepared for this question based on the fact that but okay. So depending on how somebody knows me, because there's many different sides of the artist that is Natalie. Some people might be surprised to find out that on my leisure time, I often listen to sometimes just classical instrumental, or just something like more jazz, you know. And then I find that as a songwriter, so allows my mind to rest a little bit. I'm able to just let my mind wander with it without it already being filled up with all these lyrics. And then, but what? Okay, so a fun one might be when I was little, we used to do this thing in our household where they used to play in order for me to clean up my room because I would want to make it fun, right? So it would just be like, clean up, everybody, everyone, clean up, everybody. And I would just like, I still find myself in my place. I just be nosing about, but I have that in my head. Clean up, and I'll just.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who has never heard your music before? We're talking to millions of people. You're having the platform right now to talk to the internet, to the millions that are watching live, to the even more that are going to watch the re-record, to a new potential fan. What would you say to describe your music?
Yeah. So I would say that my music is for others to be. So if you are going through any type of difficulty, hardship, we all have our moments of darkness. And sometimes it can be hard to see your way outside of that. And my music will take you on the journey of meeting where you're at, because I've been there at it, and having the ability through the frequency and the music, the it will transport you to a place that hopefully brings some healing, peace within you. And
It's so lovely. What do you hope to achieve with being a part of Burst to Voice?
I hoped that I can spread the good energy through music, because I do believe in the power of music. And there's the world needs more of it, more of the goodness, more of the ability to reach others in a way that uplifts them, as opposed to all this heaviness that we have going on in the weight of the world right now.
Natalie, I have to ask you this, you get the elevator spiel here. Share with us the way to connect with you and to discover you, to learn about you, to hear your music. How do we learn about Natalie Ney?
Yeah. So first of all, please check out any of my socials. So you can find me on Instagram under Natalie. So it's Nataly. And you can also find YouTube under my name as well. And you can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, and also on TikTok. I have an artist page that you get the chance to see me speak a lot as well. I am a speaker, and it's Level Up with Natalie, all one word. And please, when you interact, have to interact back. I don't want to be solo on social media. The whole point is for everybody to connect. So I'd be happy to see you there.
As you're chatting, again, the comments are flooding in. I'm trying my best to keep up with all of them. Someone is saying she has the most infectious energy. What a quote that is.
Oh, that's you.
And you're getting a lot of people that are saying that they're going to vote for you and write comments on your posts. So I thank you for all those that are writing comments. Natalie, you were last but not least. I've had the opportunity to interview most of or all of the quarterfinalists. You were my last interview. Thank you so much for doing this.
Duh. Well, first of all, can we take a minute here, everybody, and acknowledge how many interviews you have just done? So first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me, get to know me a little more, but also you are a superstar in your own right. I see you getting such good, beautiful tidbits of the artists' lives and where their essence is truly coming from. And that is a gift to be able to deliver to other people. So thank you for helping that and giving us all our time to speak and introduce ourselves. And I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. And I've had such an honor to talk to you, to all the quarterfinalists. I'm learning so much about new music coming out. I've been adding so many artists to my Spotify and my Apple Music and YouTube. I've been doing a lot of work. I'm so excited for this First The Voice competition. Shout out to Karen Cece, who's the executive producer. Shout out to Sarah Morrison, the event producer. And Natalie, thank you so much for doing this. Again, I know you're such a busy person, but thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
And don't forget to heart my first on my profile. Everybody who is watching it loves and appreciates music. Please heart it and comment anything your heart is called to in order to count as a vote in order to keep me in for another round.
Thank you, everyone.